Isn't it nice to know that all the building up uh, has really been unnecessary, you know?
When you mentioned the self-esteem, um, gosh, and how much, like, well, in my own upbringing, which is so common to so many people, how insecure I felt, and so self-esteem building seemed very important, like whether it was from church or school or my parents, that I needed self-esteem.
Yeah,
It was like a constant message,
it's a constant battle,
a
isn't it?
battle. And it really didn't make sense because I don't know, even today, like when I hear those words, I'm like,
It's
yeah, there's
false.
a little disconnect. Well, a
Yeah.
big disconnect. So,
Yeah, see, so that's we're talking a little bit about how as 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 kids, especially and adults, we're taught that, oh, I I feel weak, I feel insecure, I feel uncertain. Oh, it's a self-esteem problem. So then you build self-esteem and you start to develop this really a cover. It's like putting a band-aid on a problem available. And so the work is really in looking at the situation as it is and not the way we set it up. We set it up to prove that we're separate and alone. We set it up to prove that we're victims. So we just look at it as it is and begin to really be grateful that we have a better way now and how perfect it all was. How perfect was that those times of diminished self-esteem and this feeling of littleness. How perfect was it that I tried to fix it? I tried to cover it up because now I know it doesn't work. And now I just really want something that does. Above all else, I want to see. Yeah, baby. Any other comments? No. Just love. Yeah. Words lose their value after a little while. Yeah.
right?
Okay, welcome back. Here we are with lesson number 36. My holiness envelops everything I see. Seated comfortably with your right leg in front of your left, just as Lisa is here, heels out by the knees, slowly curve forward. My holiness envelops everything I see. If God is in my mind, then it must. It starts off by saying, today's idea extends the idea for yesterday from the perceiver to the perceived. So yesterday, in lesson 35, my mind is part of God's, I am very holy. It's the lesson is directed toward the perceiver, toward the mind, sometimes called the observer. And now, because there's no difference between our thoughts, right? Our thoughts are images that we have made. So now it's saying we're extending the idea from the perceiver now to the perceived. My holiness envelops everything I see. And then it says you are holy because your mind is part of God's. And because you are holy, your sight must be holy as well. Slowly raise up. And switch the cross of your legs. Remember, we do not care what these shapes look like. I give you the cues that are always directional in nature. We don't care what the shape looks like. You just have it as it is. Meet yourself where you are and curve forward. There's no push, no pull. How could we have a push and a pull if we're here to undo? No strings attached. Now, still in paragraph 1, it says, sinless means without sin. You cannot be without sin a little. You are either sinless or not. If your mind is part of God's, you must be sinless, or a part of His mind would be sinful. Your sight is related to His holiness, not to your ego, and therefore not to your body. My sight is related to God's holiness, not to my body, not to my eyes. In the text, it talks about the body being a communication device. And we tend to think of the body as this separate thing that goes through form, reporting to the mind what it sees and senses. In that sense, it's nothing reporting nothing, because it's all an illusion. Now we give the body a higher purpose, and now it becomes a communication device where it extends the love and light of God through it. God extends His love to us, and we extend God's love through us to all. Because all is one, we see the love, we see the light in all things because we see from the love and from the light. Slowly raise up. Keep your eyes closed as you come back up. And slowly open your eyes and just have this practice. My holiness envelops everything I see. You don't even have to pick out specific things. Just let it all be included. Naturally, it's what you can see with your eyes, and it's everything you cannot see with your eyes. Your holiness envelops everything. Now, releasing the shape, have your bolster handy, spin around, get very close to the wall. So as you put your, sorry, Lisa, you're going to put your legs up on the wall, but get your hips in close so that when you spin around, legs up, you're in closer than normal. Then you're going to bend your knees, press into the wall, lift the hips, put the bolster crosswise underneath your pelvis. So now when you sit down, the hips are supported, but the low back is not. Now the knees need to be straight here. If you feel like the knees are not straight passively, then scoot back. You might scoot back about an inch, just a little bit. Bring the bolster with you. There you go. Yeah. All right. Now can you interlock your fingers under your head? Or some variation of that. Relax, let your low back release toward the floor. And just rest here a moment while I want to talk about this word sinless. In sentence 4, it says, sinless is in quotes, means without sin. In archery, sin means missing the mark. It's not that unlike uh, the way that A Course in Miracles is using the word sin. We're just missing the mark. It's the mistaken belief that we're separate from God. That's all sin is. How could there be sin in a world that doesn't exist? It's why we can't be sinless a little bit. The same way you can't be a little bit pregnant. One couldn't be a little bit pregnant. You're either sinless or not. Remember, there are no neutral thoughts. My thoughts are either of love or fear. Now, switch the interlock of your fingers under your head. Similar to the way we did yesterday, slowly bring the knees wide, soles of the feet together. Make an effort to keep the soles of the feet together down to that place where it feels like you're about 2 hands away, groin to heels. And then press slightly the feet together some and into the wall. And feel that transmission of energy through your feet or from your feet through your legs, your knees, your hips. And let it all, once again, move your low back toward the floor. Yeah, and sometimes there's a little shaking in the legs. This is normal and it's welcome. We're unifying, reprogramming the body and the nervous system the same way we're reprogramming our mind, dissolving blockages that hide the light of love. My holiness envelops everything I see, everything I sense. Now, slowly raise your feet back up the wall, just bit by bit. Yeah, go a few inches and then stop and keep your feet together. Keep pressing into the wall. Just thoughtful effort through the legs, low back down, and then move up a couple more inches. Just take your time. Have this effort and feel the resistance in the lower leg, the ankles. Work with the cramping until you finally release your legs. Yeah, that last little bit is golden. When the time is right, you'll just extend your legs up and bring all 10 toes towards you. Firm your thighs. Lengthen the back of your legs. Open your knees. Release your arms down by your sides. And relax your legs and feet now. Relax your body and settle into the shape. My holiness envelops everything I see. My holiness envelops this shape. My holiness envelops my body. My holiness envelops the floor and the wall, the furniture in this room. My holiness envelops this cushion or bolster that supports my hips. I am one with this holiness. And as I return to, to, the, to my healed mind, I realize I'm one with everything, and my holiness envelops it all. Arms heavy, legs relaxed. Soften your face, soften your brow, and gently open your eyes and let the light in as a symbol and reflection of the light of love that flows through you as you now open your eyes and apply the lesson to the things that you see with your eyes, the ceiling, the things in your periphery. I want nothing more than to see through the lens of love. Now, the lens of fear has done nothing for me. I want it all. Not in a worldly sense. That, what we need in form will simply be given. Nothing to worry about there. I want it all. I want all holiness. Yeah. Now bend your knees, lift your hips, pull the bolster off to one side. Stay up for a moment if you can and hollow the belly out. You can walk your feet up a little bit if it helps even. And then lift the chin some and just feel the way the shoulders contact the floor, and then slowly lower your spine back down to the floor. Start with the uppermost vertebrae and just gently see if you can lay them down one at a time. Sometimes they come down in chunks, and that's okay. We're working on that differentiation. Once you finally sit down, extend your legs back up. Just feel the way your spine contacts the floor and the way it adapts to the floor. Give it the freedom to simply adapt. My holiness envelops my spine. My holiness is the undoing of the blockages to love's light. Therefore, the undoing of the pain that really originates in my mind. Gentle, gentle process. Bend your knees, push yourself back if you can. Yeah, push back and then Stretch yourself, stretch your arms, reach through your legs and your feet. Yeah. And whenever you're ready, you just roll onto one side and push yourself up. Seated comfortably. Soften. Soften your thoughts, soften your body. Let gravity have you and let your bones support you. Just softly open your eyes. It doesn't matter. You maybe have the eyes cast down a little bit, whatever. Just let it be easy. Maybe your eyes are just partially open. And as you repeat the idea for the day, my holiness envelops everything I see. Bring your hands to your heart. Soften your eyes closed again. Inner and outer, all the same. My holiness envelops it all. Namaste.